Hey folks, I'm Rob.
And I'm Nathan.
And we are Two Guys in a Ride. Today we're excited to bring you another virtual car show featuring the garages, collections, and owners out at the Chanhassen Autoplex.
The Chanhassen Autoplex features a monthly summer car show the last Saturday of every month from April through September. Unfortunately, due to current circumstances, the May in-person car show has been canceled.
Well, that's where we come in. The good folks over at the Autoplex invited us to film several garages and see the collections and meet the owners. That's where we're headed right now.
But before we do, every month the Autoplex gives back to a different charity. And this month's charity recipient is Happy Tails Rescue of Minnesota.
Happy Tails is a non-profit organization dedicated to rescuing homeless and abandoned animals.
By working with committed volunteers, foster homes, local veterinarians, trainers, and boarding facilities, they are able to rescue dogs and cats, providing them with loving temporary care until a well-matched and carefully screened forever home can be found.
So please consider making a donation at tailsrescue.org.
Also, give us a like and click on the subscribe button down below and ring the bell notification so you never miss a video.
That's right. So what do you say, Nate?
Oh, let's go for a ride. Hi folks, I'm Nathan with Two Guys in a Ride, and today we're out at the Chanhassen Autoplex and we're bringing you some virtual garage tours. If you haven't seen our first 9 videos, click on the link above and you'll be able to get to those 9 videos. And today we're here with Mike.
Right.
And Mike has an extraordinary collection of crime-fighting cars, amongst some other things.
Amongst some other things, correct.
So, you know, first of all, Mike, thanks for having us here.
Oh, it's a pleasure. This is always great to do.
So you're going to love this, and fitting this into 15, 18 minutes is going to be difficult, but we're going to do our best. So
I'll talk fast.
We'll talk fast. So well, first of all, let's just talk about your garage, because you have, it's basically what would be a triple stall?
Yeah. Exactly. When we first moved in, it was up to that wall. You can see back there where the dinosaur is. And then when the other gentleman moved, we bought his garage, cut a hole in the wall, and made it look like the rest of the garage that was already here.
Right. And so basically, the middle door is gone.
Correct.
And then, but this is really nice, and I love your mobile gas station.
Thank you.
Theme and look. I mean, I love that.
And when your viewers go back and look at the first one you did with Steve's mobile gas station, he and I always have competition back and forth with gas, right? And we have people that actually come back and forth each showtime, right, to see what he's offering and what his gas price, and they come over here and they'll say, well, Steve's is this much less. So we have a great time.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about your cars, and I'm going to let you pick whatever you want to start talking about first.
Okay.
So where do you want it?
Well, let's start with this. This is a 1941 Western Flyer motorhome. There were only 3 of them ever made. It was designed by Brooks Stevens, who was a prolific designer, including the Wienermobile, Harley Davidsons, Chris Craft boats, Dodges, Jeeps, etc. This one was kind of hot rodded by a gentleman named Howdy Ledbetter up in Northern California, and it's built on a Ford chassis, Ford motorhome chassis. It's extended 47 inches, and Howdy redid the inside, and then over the last few years I've redone the whole outside of it. It's 101. There is no more. There are no more of these. So it's got right now about 400 horsepower. And it cruises. You could take it camping. It probably never will go camping, but you could certainly take it camping. It's got water tanks and propane and everything else that you would need. Very, very eclectic.
Well, one of the things that just strikes me about this car, or this camper, is the 3 lights.
Exactly.
So I mean, and then the front grille it's reminiscent of a locomotive.
Everything that's on the outside of this vehicle came off a 1941 something. It's pretty amazing.
It's just amazing.
Pretty amazing.
I love it. And I love the 4-pane windshield.
Exactly.
Each with their individual windshield wiper. I'm assuming those are electric windshield wipers?
They're electric, correct.
Okay. Because, boy, if they were a vacuum or a hand pump, you'd be reaching a long ways to get them.
Well, that's what your passenger would do.
Yeah, I know we're at the back end of this particular one here, but there are some unique things about this Rolls Royce that viewers are going to love. So tell us about it.
Yeah, what I like is have a story. This car belonged to Mr. J.B. Nethercutt of the Nethercutt Museum, and back in the day, which would have been about 79, 80s, there was kidnappings going on, and a lot of the guys that had some wealth sent their cars to get them armor plated, and Mr. Nethercutt did this. So this car has been, you can tell by the doors, the glass is about an inch thick. All this is solid, bulletproof. Inside the doors is Kevlar, and it has a very well honed sheet of steel under the front bumper in case his driver, because they had a chauffeur who was armed, by the way, because there's gun ports in the inside to shoot out through the doors, had to ram somebody to get out of the way.
Oh my gosh.
So it's really unique. It's only got 50,000 miles on it, and it really it runs great.
Well, I bet probably all that weight smooths those bumps right out.
Exactly. I loved Maxwell Smart. Okay, Chief, I missed it by this much, right? So you have to have a Maxwell Smart car, crime fighter.
Yes.
Okay. Austin Powers.
Oh, I love it.
Austin Powers, that's a 1966 Jaguar Series 1. Got about 35,000 miles on it. Actually painted to look like the Jaguar. Yeah. Underneath it, the car is kind of unique because underneath it, it's a what's called a new red, which only made 35 of the new reds back in the day. So underneath all that is a very unique color. And then we bought the little Jaguar for Vern Troy, who unfortunately had passed away, and he was Mini-Me.
Yes.
Okay, and we found that, and that's actually about a 1970 vintage kid's toy. Actually has a motor in the back, and it has a transmission.
Oh,
it
really?
Actually shifts 2 speeds forward, 1 reverse.
All right, step it over to the other.
Okay.
Well, sort of the middle of your garage.
Yeah. Bullet. What can you say? The best car chase ever on TV.
Yeah, and if you want to watch the video on that, we do actually have that on our channel. Click on the link above to get to that.
And this is a DeLorean Back to the Future car, which is actually a 1981 DeLorean. And you can see by this this letter signed by Kevin Pike, who actually did the real one.
Okay.
Right? Who said, I found this, look at this car up close and personal and the level of attention, and it is clearly the best replica he's ever seen. And he said, I should know I built the original.
Wow.
So this is pretty cool.
This is neat. All the, I mean, just amazing. You got all the time counters.
The time counters, everything, capacitor, everything. And you know, you got the Mr. Fusion, okay, and it blows smoke out the back. It's really cool.
I love it.
Okay, and then of course one of the ultimate crime fighters was Kit and Knight Rider.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh, look at this.
So you can see everything lights up here, okay, and then I'll just. You can see that he scans. Yeah. We've got 4 sayings in there that are recordings.
Okay.
Okay. So that he will talk, but I guess he must be on strike. Everybody that comes in recognizes them from something. Yeah. That were their favorite shows.
The thing I think is really neat here, Mike, is just the level of detail that you've put into these to make them so realistic.
That's what makes them fun.
Yeah.
And they're all in great shape. And by the way, you could get in and start and drive one of these any place you wanted to go. So when we do shows where we take it out for charity events or things like that, people always say, well, do you trailer them? No.
You drive
I drive them there.
Now, you have a very interesting dinosaur in kind of in the middle of your garage here.
Well, a couple things that I like to do is you can tell, collect the model cars, designer cookie jars. Okay, so never been a cookie in, they're collector cookie jars, never been a cookie in them, and they've all got themes, whether they're Star Wars themes, Elvis, superheroes, Chewbacca, yeah, and so it kind of gets to be, you know, once you get one, you got to have the other ones. So Roy Rogers, Dale Evans, the Star Wars characters, I loved the Honeymooners from back in the day. Yeah.
And then you have a little collection here of miniature motorcycles and classic cars.
Yeah, Franklin Mint cars. And one of my lives, I had a repair shop, and we were Franklin Mint dealers. So
Okay.
yeah,
Now,
that was fun.
We'll step over here to the mystery machine.
Okay. So it's a 1961 Econoline van, and because they were cartoons, and you look through and try and do research on them, people did mystery machines of all different kinds of vans. This is what I thought it should look like. And so we got the van here, we went all through it mechanically, and then we had it wrapped. This is all a wrap. It's got 4 batteries in it, so it can run TVs and things, because when we do shows, kids sit in it and they watch Scooby-Doo cartoons.
Oh, neat.
Okay. And the hardest part of finding most of this stuff was trying to find the shag carpet.
I was just going to say, I picked the shade carpet. Did you have to color the shade carpet, or did you actually find
I actually found it. If I would have known, I would have taken it out of my apartment in 1970. but you don't know.
But you don't know.
Yeah. This is from Black Beauty, from the Green Hornet TV shows, okay? And it's a really, really good replica, actually built by Keith Jeffries, who built the original one for the show, and he restored it, and all the stuff works. It's got rocket launchers that come down, it's got gas guns, the lights flip, the license plate flips, and take a look in the back. It's the only car that drops brooms down.
I was going to say.
So when the Hornet went to a site, he dropped the broom down and covered his tracks when he left.
I love it.
Isn't that cool?
That is just really neat. Wow.
And he's got.
Oh, all the switches on the inside.
Oh yeah, but look,
too.
wait, get a picture.
Oh my gosh.
Get a picture of these switches. Okay. He's got switches back here. He's got switches over there, and they all work. They all do something.
Oh, that's just so sweet.
And then he's got the scope, because he can launch the satellite and watch it from the back. Little did he know how far, he probably could have had the first drone.
Wow.
This is a 65 Lincoln. It has the original 413 in it.
Okay.
Again, it runs great. And it was signed, by the way, by Van Williams and Bruce Lee. So
Really?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
This is an 84 Countach.
Wow.
I love these cars, and it really isn't much of a crime fighter, except that there's that picture over there. I just loved Cannonball Run.
That's a great show.
Okay, and all the stars that were in it, and I thought it was just hilarious. And Adrian Barbeau, who was one of my favorites back there, was actually driving, the Countach. This is it's a Batmobile, most iconic car in the world. I think we've owned this car for about 7 or 8 years. It was built by a gentleman in Long Island, New York. Had a company called Bat Rods.
Okay.
Okay. And it's built on a 1977 Lincoln. Those were his donor cars. So it's got the original 460. Everything underneath all of this is Lincoln. And again, it runs great. We've made it talk.
Yeah.
Okay, we've made smoke come out the back because we thought fire was a little too dangerous.
Right.
Okay, and it does a whole bunch of different things. It's got a jet engine sound, and when you take it out places, people, can I go for riding a Batmobile? Can I go? It was wonderful. Then we built, of course, a Bat mobile crime lab kit that he could take with, so he could do his investigations. This is the one that probably goes out the most. And I do. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a roof, so I guess he didn't fight crime when it rained. But I drive it. I drive it on the streets. I mean, it's licensed.
I love so many. It's just cool. All the little different gadgets, the phones, the scopes, the bat return lever,
that parachutes that came out, and it's signed back there by Lee Merriweather, was Catwoman, and right on the speedometer there, I had the opportunity to meet Adam West.
Really?
And I met him, and I brought that down, and I have a book of where I've taken the thing, and I showed him my bat book, and I only got to talk to him for 5 minutes, and then I just said, Mr. West, would you? So he signed it. It says, to Mike Zap Zap Adam West.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. And then, the pictures I have around, American Graffiti, I love that. My wife and I were fortunate enough to be in Corvette clubs and travel around the country taking our vacations.
Okay.
The Penguin,
Yeah.
the Lone Ranger, and Roy Rogers, they were crime fighters. All right, and those are 2 signed posters by them. Ken Zalia, who was a very prolific and very well-known artist for doing scenes back in those days. So it's just a lot of fun stuff. A lot of fun stuff.
I love it. It's actually, it's really neat to see. Every garage is so unique.
And that's what makes this hobby, or a sickness as my wife would call it, it depends who you talk to, so interesting and unique, because it can be anything.
This has a loft, so to speak, but it's walled off with windows that open, right?
Sort of, kind of.
Sort of, kind of. We'll go upstairs
You'll
and
go there
find
and
out.
look, yeah.
All right,
Come on.
so I understand, Mike, your wife is actually going to take us for a tour up here.
Yes.
So we are upstairs with Mike's wife, better half, Beverly.
Yes.
And so Beverly, thank you for having us up in your upstairs area here in your garage.
You're welcome.
And so take us on a tour here.
Well, it's a living area. We've done this in 2 phases.
Okay.
That was the first phase, and it was too close for comfort, so we bought this phase.
Okay.
And we gutted everything, so there was nothing from the floor up.
Okay.
It was nothing. And this is the living area, or one of them. We do a lot of entertaining here.
Well, this is a very nice area. It's very comfortable. Plus, you have the windows that you can overlook the actual garage if you want.
You can, but I put those up because I don't want to look at the red horse. It clashes with everything else. What can I say?
What can you say?
So we've got, this is all storage and this, and we've got a half bath here.
So this is, I'm just going to show you, this is one of Bev's favorite things.
We fought over
This
this.
is called a Zoom bed. Which
It's a queen
not
size
like
bed
a
that
Murphy
comes
bed.
out.
It actually goes behind the case, and it comes all the way out to a double bed.
No, queen.
Queen bed.
Queen bed.
Yeah.
Wow, talk about compact storage.
It's very
It is.
compact.
And you don't have anything coming down.
Correct, which would
And you can use all the space for displaying things.
Yeah.
So
Wow,
that's
really
fun.
neat.
And this is the original half. And we've got an electric fireplace. We've got the full kitchen,
Full kitchen in here.
3/4 bath, a shower and everything, and storage.
Wow, I mean, that's so nice. I mean, you have enough here that if you come out here and you want to stay for a while, you can do that.
You can do that.
But it's so nice. I mean, it's kind of, you have your own little getaway here.
Yep.
And then you've got a space to entertain on the other side.
Yeah.
And then you've actually got a little balcony on this side.
Right.
And then out here, you've got a balcony overlooking the garage.
Out here, you can come out here and sit out here, have a cup of coffee, overlook the garage. It's really very, very nice.
Which Bev does not do.
She does not.
You don't go out on the balcony and look over the garage.
No.
But you do.
But I do.
I like your sign that says Mike's Garage.
Yep.
Where's the one that says Beverly's upstairs living area?
I just say, it's Bev's upstairs up here, keep out.
That's okay.
He can eat his popcorn downstairs.
There you go. One last thing. We'll ask you both, so you can both have separate answers. We'll start with Mike. What's your favorite thing about the garage? It can just be being here. But
The favorite thing that I have about here is our shows.
Yeah.
so Beverly, what is your favorite part?
It's being up here and just socializing with people.
Well, again, thank you so much for sharing your
You're
time
welcome.
and your garage space.
Oh, you're
with
welcome.
us.
You're welcome.
Thank you.